So, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast, where we will be reviewing the Austrian Sprint weekend. It was pretty decent, wasn't it?
Austria is one of those tracks that the overtaking's easy enough that it just doesn't disappoint. But it's also... It's not easy in the way that the Las Vegas DRS section was easy. It's still got a challenging corner at the end of it that you can defend into. So it's easy, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. They've got sort of three main overtaking opportunities in Austria, and all of them have defendable sections. Like you've got turn 1, turn 3, and turn 4. And
all
if
of
you're
which
Oscar
are at the end of DRS sections.
Yeah, but if you're Oscar Piastri, you've also got turn 5.
Yeah, is that not... I think that's 6, actually.
Is that
yeah, but then 4's sort of like a double, isn't it?
It's 4, 5, yeah.
4, 5,
As I say, is that
5,
counted
5,
as
6.
2 corners?
I'm pulling up the track
So
map.
1, 2,
Because there's
3,
only
4.
10 corners in Austria, or is it 11?
It's 10.
Yeah.
I think it would be...
It's 6.
6.
Is it 6?
He's corrected the know-it-all.
So yeah, turn 5, like turn 2, basically doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's just sort of the long sweeping exit of 4, but they've called it its own corner.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
So yeah, if you're Oscar Piastri, turn 6 is also an overtaking area.
Which I just want to touch on. That's brave, borderline stupid. Because the amount of times we've seen someone just get clipped in the rear wheel and then goodbye, that is your race ruined.
Or go like overcook it slightly and end up in the gravel trap on the outside of that corner.
Around the outside of turn 5's worse. Especially with like against Perez. With Piastri and all. That was because if you're on the outside of that corner, you'd know you're just going to get squeezed out.
Yeah, that 4-5 corner is... Well, I mean, we've had Albon go off there, haven't we? And we've had...
Yeah.
We had a couple of high-profile incidents a couple of years ago that were very sort of like, maybe we shouldn't be trying around the outside of turns 4 or 5.
Yeah. But then some people tried it this year and it worked.
Yeah. It's a matter of the guy on the inside giving you enough respect, space, and not having any understeer.
Yeah.
So
basically, you send it and pray.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's very much judging who you're racing against in that moment.
On the F1 game, it's very, very makeable there because all you've got is steer. No understeer is possible.
True. In the F1 game, that corner's flat. Flat round it.
Yeah. Just steer. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about real F1. Start off with practice. I mean, it's a sprint weekend, so we only had one session. I don't think much happened. Max Verstappen broke down.
Yes.
Yeah, but then he got going again.
He did. He caused a red flag.
That was quite funny, actually, because then he broke down. Everyone's like, oh my god, is he going to make qualifying? And like 10 minutes later, Max Verstappen's back on the track.
Yeah. Max Verstappen back on the track, fastest in the session, fastest in sprint quali, fastest in quali, wins the sprint, doesn't win the race. But we'll get to that.
Oh my god, spoilers.
Wow.
Who
wins this week?
Whoa!
Wait, is that the first... Well, Max would have broke the cursor then, didn't he? Of different drivers qualifying on pole.
Well, not so much the curse, but he broke the run.
Yeah, it's not a curse, yeah.
Broke the run.
Of Max not being on pole and it being a different driver.
Well, it wasn't so much Max not being on pole, it was a completely different person being on pole each time. We had 4 pole setters in 4 races. Now it's 4 and 5.
Hey, you never know. Piastri this weekend.
Mm.
He's not bad around Silverstone.
Or Hamilton wasn't on the list of pole setters, was he?
Nope.
He's not had a pole position. We know he loves Silverstone.
His highest this season. I think third's his highest qualifying this season.
Wasn't he second in the China sprint? Quali.
Yeah. I don't know. Can't remember.
He started 5th this week, so.
Yeah, exactly. And had a small ding dong with Sainz, which put a hole in his car, and that was basically race over.
Yeah, it's just one of those things about the current gen of cars is they're just so sensitive to any kind of differentiation in the surface of the car. Anything that's slightly out of place and suddenly you're generating a load more drag.
Yeah,
And
to be fair, I did see a picture from the end of the race. There was a literal hole in the side of the car that wasn't meant to be there.
I mean, we had the same sort of thing with Max when him and George came together at Baku a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And Max is there like, but look at my car. And George is like, it's racing. Hey! What are you going to do?
What you mean? Basically what Max Verstappen said this weekend when Lando's like, look at my car. Hey! Just racing.
Forget about it.
It's fine.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, sprint quali wasn't that much different. Nothing exciting really happened. Max took pole.
It was. I'll say it was close, but it's Austria. It's got like the shortest lap time of the year, so it's always close here.
Like the lap time is a minute, 7 or something in quali?
A minute
8?
5.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, so it's a bit like saying the Bahrain outer quali was close.
Yeah, a minute 5.69 was Max's sprint quali time. And a minute 5.336 was Max's actual qualifying time. Oh, wait, hang on. Q3. A minute 4.3. I wasn't looking at Q3. A minute 4.6 was sprint. There we go. Look at Q3,
so,
Richard, not Q1.
There you go. You can't really separate a lot over that, can you?
No, exactly.
There was a 10th to Norris, 2 tenths to Piastri, 4 tenths to Russell.
I think in Q1 of I can't remember if it was sprint or actual quali, but it was like 8 tenths covered the field. So, I mean, that gives you an idea of how close it is. 20 drivers, 8 tenths of a second. So
it wasn't the sprint because Zhou done a 1 minute 7.1 and Verstappen done a 1 minute 5.6.
That must have been actual then. There you
go. In actual, Verstappen done a 1 minute 5.3 and Zhou done a 1 minute 6.0. So yeah, 7 tenths in Q1. So yeah, as you say, that just shows how close it was across both sprint quali and actual quali. And then we had the 2 races. I was at work, so I've only seen the highlights for them both. I watched maybe about the last 15 laps or so of the main race at work.
You lucky bastard.
Yeah, I tuned in as it got exciting.
See, that's when I'd fallen back asleep.
Turn it on.
Because I woke up early for it, right? So I'm working night shifts over the weekend means that I stayed up Friday night into Saturday morning, watched the F3 and the F2, then went to bed. Actually, watched the sprint, then went to bed, missed qualifying, slept through that entirely, got up and went to work, came home, missed the F3 because I saw like the last 20 seconds of the podium celebrations of the F3, watched the F2, went to bed, woke up for the race, which was like way earlier than I should have done. It was kind of like settled down. I nodded off. I wake up at like 8 p.m. and it's like, George Russell won! And I'm like,
what the fuck?
how the hell did that happen?
Yeah. Yeah, I missed basically every session because I was either in bed because I'd been at work till like 3, 4 in the morning, or at work. The good news is I won't miss any sessions this weekend. See them all.
I will probably still miss some this week.
But yeah, so the sprint, probably the most exciting bit was when I think it was lap, I don't even know, lap 5 or something maybe, when Norris just went yeet up the inside of Max Verstappen, made the move stick, and then just failed to defend into turn 4.
Yeah, that was... He literally was like, yeah, I made the move, I've done it, and the door is open for you, so would you like to come down the inside? Boy, that's his preferred move.
Yeah.
You've seen how aggressively he defended the inside on the last 18 attempts you made. Defend the inside!
And then, just to make matters worse, Oscar Piastri went, "Thank you very much, good sir." It just went round the outside to turn 6.
Yeah, it was like, I see your issues, and I will have them for myself. Thank you. I will take this. So, I mean, fair play. Opportunistic move.
Yeah.
Good move.
Got to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. That's what happens when people squabble in front of you, is they lose time and the guy behind gains.
Exactly. And the other sort of main thing I can think about from the sprint highlights was Nico Hulkenberg just showing Alonso the runoff of turn 3. When he also dove down the inside, but failed to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of just like, get out of my way.
Yeah.
Didn't go
it's
down
one way
very
to get
well.
through.
Yeah. It's not the best way to get through. But it was
But it
certainly effective.
It works.
Didn't it also cost Alonso a place to Danny Rick as well?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe he was summoned to the stewards for it. He was, and penalised. He got a 10-second time penalty for that.
That's the
standard.
standard.
Forcing another driver off the circuit.
That's just the standard now, is 10.
It's wild that is now the standard.
I love it.
It feels so harsh, but yeah.
But it's a deterrent. You don't want 10 seconds? Don't do it.
Yeah. And yeah, qualifying, actually. There was a bit of I don't want to say drama, definitely backlash toward Yuki Tsunoda after his radio comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a word. That's a word that one content creator around F1 reserves specifically for Lance Stroll.
What was it? What did Yuki say?
He used the R word.
Right, okay.
I believe I can get away with saying it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will not be cancelled, that's okay. But yeah, so the FIA basically just went, "What? Excuse me, to the steward's room with you." And he received a large fine.
Yeah, 20 grand. It was
40,000 euro,
20
of which
was
20,000 is suspended. Yeah. No, he said that he was unaware of what it meant. So that either means that someone is just teaching UK all the swear words, or he's still...
No context, here's a book of swear words, off you go.
Or he's still getting away with the sort of English isn't my first language excuse.
If you read the doc That's what he said.
That is
Well, now this was
literally
the
what he
penalty.
said. Yeah, I've got the doc in front of me.
And we go live now to our football correspondent, Ben.
Yep.
What's just happened?
Ronaldo's just missed a penalty.
Oh, is it still
It was
0-0?
saved. Yeah, it's still 0-0. The penalty was
Oh,
saved.
get it up.
Good old Oblak. Let's go.
Anyway, back to Formula One.
Yep.
Wait, is it made it to... Oh, I was about to say, it wouldn't have made it to a penalty shootout yet. That's still 15 minutes away.
No, it's just about to be half-time at extra time.
Yeah.
We can now
Love
carbon
it.
date this episode. Exactly.
Yeah. They know exactly when it was recorded. But yeah, basically the stewards went, "Thank you for your honesty. Here's a large fine."
Thanks for your honesty, but still, can't excuse it. Money,
Yeah.
please.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
And then McLaren went to complain to the stewards about Oscar Piastri's lap time being deleted, and the stewards just went, "Lol, money, please.
Off track.
Goodbye."
It's fair enough.
Surely they realised that that protest wasn't going to work. What was the point?
Well, you got to try, haven't you, really?
It wasn't even admissible, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they made it to the hearing and the stewards went, "Lol." They just
You
went,
just put
"No."
the photograph on the door as McLaren walked up. But, oh.
Yeah,
The
if
best
you're
thing
going to
is,
try and fight something, at least get your evidence right first.
or at least fight it correctly. They should have done a right of review, not
Yeah.
a protest.
I protest.
I protest
It's
this
out of the
steward.
fucking track, mate. Oh.
I protest this steward's decision. You can't do that. Oh, okay. Just pouring money down the drain in the cost cap era. What a great idea.
Mercedes and their chassis.
Mm.
Ronaldo's crying.
So fun if they subbed them off.
Right
He's
before the
time
penalty
at extra
shootout.
time, and he's just fucking breaking down and crying.
Because he knows they're going to bottle it, because Slovenia's keeper is absolute god tier.
Yeah, one of my
Thanks,
football group
F1.
chats literally just replied with, "He's fucking crying." So yeah, that's... We'll get to the main stewards incident of the weekend in a moment. Let's talk about the race.
The boring bit that you didn't see.
I think it goes a long way to tell you what happened in the race when the official Formula One highlights video on YouTube, the first 4 minutes, which is like half the video, is over half the race.
Mm.
And then the next 4 minutes is like the last 15 laps.
Yeah.
Mm.
So basically, what we're saying is the first half of the race toward the last sort of was just boring and dull. Not much happened except from the small ding dong between Hamilton
there
and
was one
Sainz.
thing actually that happened in the boring side of the race.
Oh, what's that?
And that was Kevin Magnussen coming on the radio asking about tyre saving. And then saying, for Hulkenberg, no tyre saving. For me, yes. Fuck that. And just fucking driving on.
Fair play, lad.
Fair.
That's the only thing.
And yeah, then we had the second half of the race, basically which started because Red Bull done fucked up with a pit stop, which they don't normally. They had a slow stop on the rear left tyre. It just wouldn't come off. And then that allowed Lando to close the gap from something like 7 seconds, 1.5.
Yeah. Because he was 7 odd seconds behind Red Bull fucked up that stop, and then they also had to let Lando through before they could release Verstappen.
Well, okay, they didn't have to, but it was either that or cop an unsafe release penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they took the sensible route and just let Lando go.
Especially considering they had been investigated early in the race for an unsafe release.
Yeah.
Don't chance your arm.
Yeah. You got away with it once.
Yeah.
And so the race was on. Lando was catching him by a couple of tenths every lap, got into the DRS really quickly. And then things got a bit naughty, let's say. On both sides for a bit. Lando's moves were ambitious.
Ain't
Yeah,
nothing wrong with a bit of ambition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, they were dive bombs, sure, but he was always in control of his car. That's something you have to remember. It's not like he's just fucking Pastor Maldonado'd it and said, I will use your brakes as my brakes. He is using his brakes in a way that he knows he will still make the corner, but in an aggressive enough way that the other driver has to pay attention to it.
Yeah. Apart from the ones that he locked up sailing off the circuit.
Yeah, that's the only move that I had like the issue with being Lando just being over aggressive, where he's locked up on. But then that was also, I think, Verstappen playing on Lando's mind, where previously he moved in the braking zone. He was so tight to turn 3, where he didn't really have to be.
Like that is, I think that's what I was coming to. Lando's moves were ambitious, but there was also quite a few instances of moving in the braking zone. Which you just can't do, especially if the other driver's on the brakes, because as soon as you try and steer in these cars when you're on the brakes, you lock up.
Yeah.
Which is why you're not allowed to move in the braking zone.
Max has very cleverly just towed that line enough to get away with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, still plant that seed of doubt in the other driver's mind of like, he's going to move.
Yeah.
I have to give him extra space to accommodate for the fact that he's going to move. And then the one time that Lando sends it around the outside and doesn't accommodate for Max's movement, contact.
Yeah, so it was very much on the line of what was acceptable. And then we came to a move that I thought Lando was going to make stick when he dove up the inside and Max went wide.
He did make it stick.
Well, no, because Max just came out onto the track ahead.
But then Lando still made the corner and the white line on the far side. So
this is what I'm going to have issue with here, is that the stewards didn't act fast enough.
To be fair, didn't the crash happen like a lap later? They couldn't really do much.
Yeah.
In fairness, if you're watching a battle for the lead and you see him clearly rejoin ahead, even though the driver that was overtaking made the move and made it stick, then just say, give it back now.
It was very similar to, as I move my camera for no reason, it's very similar to, is it lap 1 at Abu Dhabi, when Max dived down the inside and made the corner and Lewis still... It was sort of
chicane.
Like, well...
Why has he done that then?
He still made the corner. Why?
Yeah.
I think the only thing I can think of that they were perhaps considering was, did Lando force Max off? Because if so, then Max rejoining in the position that he was in would be legal.
Yeah,
because he was forced off. So it was A, was Lando ahead at the corner, and B, was Max forced off. Those would be the considerations that we're looking at, and then the next lap, well, it all kicked off, didn't it?
Yeah.
Lando decided that the inside wasn't working, and so sent it around the outside. Perfectly fair.
Yeah.
I think it was more the fact that Max moved over to defend the inside. So
Max went to defend the inside, and then went, actually, I don't want to do that. And they crashed.
The important parts to note here is that Lando is pretty much, his left wheel is pretty much bang on the white line for the the outside edge of the circuit.
Yeah.
And approaching the braking zone, there's more than enough space for him. But as Max brakes, he brakes across and shuts the door, but shuts it too much, doesn't leave a full car's width, and that's where the contact come from. Because Lando is pretty much just sitting on the line and sends it dead straight up the outside. Honestly, I think Lando was waiting for the opportunity to try and get the switchback sort of move, and get him on the exit to then get up the inside of turn 4, which is where Max preferred to defend.
Yeah.
But Max moved across and the opportunity didn't arise.
No.
For me, and something that I know another F1 content creator has spoken about, it's not that incident that I mostly take issue with, it's the bit afterwards where he basically just pushes Lando straight onto the grass.
Yeah.
Why that wasn't looked at as well, I don't know.
No.
But that's not a good look, and borderline petulant.
Yeah. The only mitigating circumstances I can think of in that situation was he had a puncture. Did he have full control of the car?
Yeah.
It's the only justification I can think about that.
It was his left rear.
Left rear as well.
So you need to see the onboards to be able to see his steering angle, because obviously, if he's got on full left lock and his car's still going right, there's nothing wrong with that then. No problem whatsoever. He's doing what he can. But if he's on right lock and just shoves Lando off the track, big problem with that.
Definitely.
Especially when your car is in, and a damaged state.
And we didn't know at that point that Lando's was in a damaged state because his puncture hadn't appeared.
Yeah. So we'd have to wait and see on that one, but I mean, it's too late for the stewards to do anything about it now, but at the same time,
I don't even think they could launch a right of review at this point, or a protest. It would be too late.
Well, what is there to protest? There's no decision made, that's the thing.
But you can make a protest against the regulations, I believe.
Okay, so it'd be like the sporting code of driving standards, forcing another driver off the track or whatever bit that is.
Yeah, like when Red Bull protested the Mercedes one, as long as there's significant new, at Silverstone 2021, if there's significant new evidence, such as if the onboard came out and certainly that would be protestable.
Surely they should already have the, all 20 onboards are now available to view live on your Sky Glass or Sky Go app, you know?
The stewards just need Sky Glass.
Yeah, exactly. They just don't want to pay their, £200 a year.
Oh, well, they'll have F1 TV, and they're all available through that as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if it was just missed or how it wasn't looked at, but yeah, I do agree with you. It definitely seems like something that should have been investigated, because that's part of what I was sitting watching at work. I seen him going across. I was like, what is he doing? Why is he cutting him off again? He's already crashed. Just get out of the way.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, but I mean, in terms of the actual incident itself beforehand, in my view, yes, Lando could have moved over onto the curb, but that's not what the regulations dictate.
No.
The driver must leave.
Even if Lando moves over to the curb, he's just avoiding Max.
Yeah. So
Max still isn't giving him a car's width.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. The point is that you must leave a full car's width to the edge of the track. That doesn't mean a part of his car must be able to touch the edge of the track. That must mean his full car must be able to be on the entire track at any point.
And for the people pulling up the Vettel-Hamilton incident from 2019, remember, that was at the time where the curbs were counted as part of the track and for track limits violations, whereas now it's the white lines.
Yeah, it was the back of the curb was the edge of the
Exactly.
track. Depending on which circuit you went to.
Yeah, but Austria was one where it was the curb.
Yeah, so...
It's a penalty shootout.
Penalties, yeah. How funny will it be if Ronaldo misses again?
I'm loading it up just
if
for
he's
that.
like
penalties.
scored
We'll
to
keep
stay in.
doing this during the shootout though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely poor from Verstappen.
Yeah,
And
we're used to it.
It's almost
Andreas
a regression
Steller as well.
It's
Andreas
almost Max going
Steller,
back to
speaking
where
of
he
Max.
was back in like what 2018, 2019.
2018, 19, 21 to a point.
Yeah.
It was
just
very
not a good look.
reminiscent of the "you will back out or we will crash" moves.
Yeah, is it the first cracks in the armor starting to show?
I think it may be.
The impenetrable Red Bull wall of victory is now concerned by the speed of Lando Norris and McLaren, that they are willing to take him out so that he doesn't finish. Because let's be honest, Max has still come off better from this, even with his 10-second time penalty. He finished 5th.
Yeah, he got 10 points from that race.
He didn't even... If I'm right, he didn't actually lose a position on the road from where he finished, did he?
No.
No, so... His penalty was a penalty, and was the correct decision, and the correct amount.
Mm.
But it didn't really actually cost him anything more than the incident already had.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Oh, what a save.
That was a good save.
Yeah. I also love that the BBC graphics said Cristiano Ronaldo.
The BBC's graphics, like the caption person, is on fire with their jokes at all times across the entire sporting year.
Someone's got a sign that says PR7.
No, I think that's a replay.
Chris.
No, this was in the huddle.
No, I think that's a replay of the halftime huddle, because that was just before.
Oh, okay.
Someone's sign says
surely he's not crying.
I'm so proud.
But yeah, so Andreas Seidel came out, as you say, and said basically, what was he up to?
We've seen it in the past. It didn't get dealt with. Oh my god! Look, it's back again. Who would have thought?
This is sort of the hangover of not dealing with it properly.
Yeah.
If you don't deal with an issue, it may disappear because Mercedes aren't at the front and fighting with it anymore. But that doesn't mean the issue's gone. It's just no longer present.
This is the first proper fight Red Bull have had since 2021.
Yeah.
Because Ferrari were only really there for a couple of races in 2022. They didn't launch a consistent fight. McLaren are now closing in the Constructors' Championship. They are closing, or at least they were closing, in the Drivers' Championship as well. And so it's going probably too late, I think, to make a proper dent in the Drivers' Championship unless Lando went on an insane run. Which isn't out of the question.
It's not.
It also depends how Mercedes and Ferrari develop. If they could outdo Red Bull as well, McLaren still being the best, then that would obviously help.
If the hierarchy can change more, and Red Bull and then fighting for 4th, then you're in with a shot. But until such a time, I don't think it's.
Best.
I don't think it's going to be that easy to overturn it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the gap now? Like 100 odd?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I'm just checking.
Yeah. And Mercedes, I don't think are too far away. They just need to get to a circuit again that suits them. Which, to be honest, I think they might have this weekend at Silverstone.
They always go well. It's their home track. They do most of their testing there. So, Max is on 237 and Lando's on 156.
So 80 odd points.
Yeah, 81.
Wasn't there quite a big gap between Lewis and Vettel at one point in 2019?
Was it 18?
2018.
Or 17.
And Lewis went on an
17
insane run to bring it back.
It's still not outside the realms of possibility. It's just gonna be difficult.
Yeah.
What year did Vettel crash at Germany?
2018.
That must have been the year.
Yeah, that was the year.
Because Hamilton had a really poor race at Britain and Vettel won. And then the opposite happened like
Hamilton
2 weeks
returns the favour.
He got done by Kimi, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, Slovenia have just missed their second penalty.
There's 2 good saves from the keeper.
Oh, yeah. But I wanted Slovenia to win.
Yes, so did I, but you can't deny that these are good saves.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right, Richard, results, please.
Okay, so, podium predictions, understandably, kind of went to shit with the Max and Lando collision. So the highest score this week was Nia.
Whoa!
With 4 points.
How?
She put Sainz on the podium in 3rd, and she said Verstappen on pole.
Nice.
Ben, you came 2nd with 3 points for Max to win the sprint, Max on pole, and you put Piastri on the podium, but in the wrong spot. Me and Chris both got 1 point for Verstappen on pole. And Sonia scored 0 points.
Whoa!
Oh.
So the overall
time first.
No, we've definitely had 0 points before, I think. I will have to go and double check that though, but I'm pretty sure we've had 0 points before.
Probably from when people aren't here and we predict Logan
Yeah,
Sargent.
but I'd say avoiding that when we've done our own predictions.
Maybe not. Hang on. This could be a first. We've got 1 pointers.
Yeah,
no, that was definitely not.
Points, but I don't...
That was definitely someone wasn't here. That was also definitely someone wasn't here. That was also definitely someone wasn't here. You know it's someone wasn't here when Lance Stroll is the pole prediction. Oh my god, guys, I think
Sonia has got an unwelcome
record.
Yeah.
She's not alone in it though, that's the thing. One of our social media predictions also scored 0 points.
Oh no.
There's a 0 there. You got -2 points for not being on. I can't remember what that one was for, but that's banter.
Would it be like 2021 when Max and Lewis had like taken each other out in Italy?
Wait, Italy, 0 points. Nia.
From who? Nia. And is it a genuine?
Well, given that the pole position prediction was Verstappen, and Hamilton was on the top step.
Was that 2021?
I don't know what year this is. I've scrolled back so far in my book, I've lost track of where I'm at.
It must have been
2022.
2022.
Wow. You won Monza in 2022.
Verstappen won Monza in 2022. But it was Leclerc on pole.
How did she not get a point when Verstappen was winning every single race by a mile?
Well, the rest of the podium was Ocon and Norris. So I don't know what she was thinking there.
I think it was maybe running off the trend from Monza's.
Wait, a Great
It had
British
been
prediction.
batshit crazy.
Great Britain 2022. Sonia, 0 points. Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc was the podium for that one. That was a 0. And no input from Chris. I love how much I've like streamlined my book in the years. Like, this is so messy compared to what it is now. Yeah, no, I think I'm back in 2021 now. So we've had a couple, but it's a decidedly rare event, and it's actually rarer than people getting 15 points. Would you believe? So
would you believe it?
It's quite impressive. A 0-pointer, and to have 2 on the same weekend. Yeah.
So you know something's gone on.
Yeah, truly.
So yes, social media then. Richard.
Social media. Top scorer was Gene with their joking prediction of Verstappen.
Nice.
Obviously, that's for sprint win and pole. Hallie got 1 point for putting Piastri on the podium, but in the wrong spot, and Nova got 0 points for Norris, Leclerc, Verstappen, and Leclerc to win sprint and get on pole. I appreciate the Ferrari belief, because I also believed that Ferrari were going to be better this weekend, but turn 1 said otherwise. So that leaves Hallie on 27 points overall for the year. Chris, you've dropped to last place. You're on 41. Nia has gained 1. It's up to 43. I'm on 56, and there is now a tie for the lead, as Sonia and Ben are both on 61. But Sonia's got a perfect prediction result, so she's still technically in first.
But she also has a nil point, so
yeah, but
I'll take the consistency point.
No, it's not how it works.
That's not how count back works, I'm afraid.
Lapdown showdown. It was a tie between Chris and me this week. The official final result was Logan Sargent, who was first lapped on lap 19 and finished 2 laps down. Chris got the closest lap. We both got the driver, but I got the correct number of laps down.
Lap 19 is very fast.
Yeah, it was. He made an early pit stop. So, what was really funny was when he was lapped, the next car in front of him was Charles Leclerc.
I did see that. What happened to him?
Charles lost his front wing. Well, lost part of his front wing at turn 1, where Perez.
Why did they make like 4 pit stops?
I have no idea. It's Ferrari.
Yeah. He just kept hitting.
There was also the moment when both Hasses were behind Verstappen and sticking with him, and Verstappen's like, these guys behind.
Right, bold predictions. Ben, you said one driver in the top 5 as they finished the race would receive a time lap penalty. They did not. Chris, you said more than 30 lap times would be deleted in the race. You loaded up the document, said it was 16.
Yeah, so I'd been checked for 16.
Gutted. Nia said, oh, I haven't checked this one. Whoopsies. Alpine in Q3. Which Esteban Ocon was. So you should get a point for that. And I said less than 3 track limits penalties would be dished out, and there was only 1. So I'll take that. Perez position predictor is a 3-way tie between Ben, Nia, and myself, because we all qualified. We all predicted his qualifying position as 8th, and that was the only thing anyone got right.
Get it on.
So in sprint quali he came 7th, in the sprint he came 8th, in the quali he came 8th, and in the race he finished 7th.
Good. He still didn't beat his teammate who crashed.
Had to pit for an extra set of tyres, and took a 10-second time penalty, and he was still further ahead of him on the road.
Yeah.
He had
Just
3 tires. He
Perez
had 3
things.
tires for over half of the lap.
That's just how you sum up Perez.
Exactly.
So
Formula 2 and 3 roundup, please, Richard.
Okay, starting with Formula 2 qualifying. A pretty close top 3, separated by just over a tenth for the top 3. Dennis Hauger on pole, with Dirksen and Bortoletto rounding out the top 3. The sprint race was won by Ollie Behrman, with Pepe Marti and Paul Aron on the podium. And Gabriel Bortoletto, Franco Colapinto, and Isaac Hadjar were your feature race podium. That leaves the constructors, the drivers' standings. In first place is Paul Aron on 117 points. In second place is Isaac Hadjar on 106, and in third is Gabriel Bortoletto on 85. The teams: Campos Racing 143, Hightech Pulse 8 142, and MP Motorsport are tied with Invicta Racing on 137.
Ooh, very close.
It's close in the teams in F2. Formula 3, just under 0.2 of a second separated the top 3 in qualifying, with Browning, Lindblad, and Tramnitz as your top 3. The sprint race was won by Solov, with Stenshorn and Mansell rounding out the podium. And the feature race, big points for this one, was Browning, Gabriella Mini, and Dino Beganovic. So your standings for those ones: Luke Browning extends his lead at the top. He's on 106. Gabriele Mini's still within touching distance though, on 95. And Leonardo Forlaroli is in third on 86. Teams on this one is somewhat less close. Prema lead the way on 252. ART Grand Prix are in second on 169, and Trident are in third on 143.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gap.
Just a small one.
Yeah. But that's your roundup for this week. They're both back in action this weekend.
They are indeed.
Are we joined by F1 Academy as well?
No, we're not. We're joined by Porsche Super Cup.
Oh, they're at Zandvoort.
Yeah,
That's the next one. Anyway, Silverstone.
Yes. Once again, we will have live things from the track. I say we. I.
Chris.
Can you film the crowd doing Verstappen? Just hate watch.
God, yeah.
I think it's going to be worse this year after that incident.
Yeah, last year wasn't too bad. The year before was very bad. This year is going to be very bad.
I think even with it's only just because of this weekend as well. If that didn't happen, I think it would have been alright.
Yeah, as I say, it was alright last year. There was a few holdouts from the year before.
There would always be a few.
Yeah,
but this
year they're going to be fucking out in force again.
Yeah.
Look, you know there's always going to be a few when you've got people like Felipe Massa still challenging the 2008 World Drivers' Championship.
Exactly.
So there's always going to be someone.
But yeah, this week they're going to be absolutely out in force over the incident, let's say.
All right.
Yeah, let's do predictions.
I've got everyone's that's not here except Nia's, so feel free to rattle yours off.
Ben, Paul,
Verstappen,
Richard,
Norris.
I'm going to go Hamilton.
Okay. Sonia has gone for Verstappen. Hallie has gone for Norris, and Nova has gone for Verstappen.
And Nia has gone for Alexander Albon.
Fair enough. He done it in practice last year, so...
Exactly.
because that's such a great metric to measure by.
Podium, please, Richard.
I have gone for Norris, Verstappen, Piastri.
Ben?
Norris, Verstappen, Piastri.
Aha!
I've went for Hamilton, Norris, Verstappen. Ben, who does Nia say is going to win the race? Just win.
Well, I think Alex brings it home for the country.
So Alex Albon. Richard, who's in second?
Obviously Lancelot Strolovich.
And in third, it's a Williams 1-3. We've got Logan Sargent.
The Eagle makes his landing.
If Nia scores a single point this weekend,
wild.
What's happened?
Yeah. Okay. As for the rest of everyone else, Sonia has gone for Verstappen, Norris, Piastri. Hallie has gone for Norris, Verstappen, Piastri. Quite a popular one this week. And Nova has gone for Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris. So you're not alone in your Hamilton hype.
Is that the indicator as to whether or not a car was going to run well in Silverstone? Traditionally, has been, does it run well in Canada? The Merc was the fastest car in the dry in Canada. So I've got my hope.
Watch it, piss it down.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be amazing.
To be fair, I'm in a covered grandstand all weekend. I would not complain if it pisses it down. It'll be amazing to watch. But yeah, bold prediction, please, Richard.
Incident free, Norris and Verstappen.
Okay.
Come on,
okay.
There's gonna be afters.
Ben?
Well, I thought of two initially, but I forgot one of them. So I'm gonna say,
Like it.
Yeah. The crowd to cheer when Logan Sargent gets into Q2.
To be fair, that's believable because the British crowd went mental for Latifi making it into Q3 in 2022. Absolutely mental. And what will I say for my bold prediction?
Oh, I know what the other one was.
Oh,
I
okay.
was going to say Alex Albon to overtake a Ferrari.
Honestly, after this weekend, possible. I will say more than 3 DNFs.
Insert Verstappen, Norris, and George Russell in turn one.
He just turned in on me.
Bowling again.
Yeah, you have Norris just fucking taking out Verstappen, and then George just steaming it inside.
So, do we do a bold prediction for Nia? She's not here.
I think it's Logan Sargent fastest lap point.
Okay.
Because he would qualify for that because he's in third on the podium.
Exactly.
Yeah, quick car this weekend.
It's time for.
I swear to God, if both of those drivers finish in the top 10, I'm going to be fuming.
A lap down showdown time.
52 laps.
52 laps. I'll go for Guan Yu Zhou. Lap 29, 1 lap down. Ben.
I'll go for his teammate Valtteri. 1 lap down, lap 31.
Richard?
Sargent, lap 32. 1 lap down.
And Nia is going for Sergio Perez, lap 2. 1 lap down.
That's actually kind of believable.
Can we say lap 3?
Lap 2. Lap 2.
Lap 2.5.
Wait, is that even possible to be lapped on lap 2?
Yeah, if you stay long enough in the pits.
Yeah. If he
Yeah.
didn't start the race.
And
Hey,
finally,
Sergio. Welcome to Red Bull.
it's the Perez position predictor. Nia has went for Sergio Perez, P20 in the qualifying, and P20 in the race.
Still kind of believable.
Yeah. Ben.
I'll say for qualifying P8. In the race, he will finish P9.
Richard?
I said he qualifies 9th and finishes 7th.
I'm going for he qualifies 11th and doesn't finish.
Cool. That's us.
Yes, it is. And so with that, join us next week as we will be reviewing the British Grand Prix and then taking a much needed rest from predictions
Yes.
because it brings the triple header to an end.
Finally.
Exactly.
Don't have to double up on these things now.
But until then, thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week. Ta-ra for now.